And then again, with the very recent, prior to his death, move to Staples Center, what was your interaction with Michael as far as being co-creators and conducting these rehearsals?
One more time with the question, please.
Once you moved to the Staples Center, again, what was your interaction with Michael? You said it began at Center Stages with conceptual, at the Forum it moved to staging, and now at Staples Center, if you can describe what it involved.
Continued staging and running of numbers.
Okay.
Tech rehearsal, incorporating lighting and other elements of the show now.
Okay. And as far as the rehearsals that we're discussing, would these be morning, afternoon, night? When did these take place with Michael's involvement?
Almost always in the afternoon, later part of the afternoon into the evening.
Okay. And typically, how long would they last as far as Michael's involvement?
I would say between 5 and 7 hours, typically.
Now, would that be 5 to 7 hours of physical performance rehearsal or all aspects of the production?
Yeah, never full physical. All aspects of the production. Discussions, meetings, decision-making, and rehearsal.
And as a co-creator with Michael, if agreement wasn't reached on a particular creative idea, who had the last word?
Michael.
Now, was there a period of time in June? Well, let me ask you this. Do you know Conrad Murray, or were you introduced to Conrad Murray?
Yes.
Do you see him in court here today?
Yes.
Could you identify him, please?
It's the gentleman sitting right here at the table in the gray suit.
22 and identifying the defendant, Dr. Murray.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
When did you first meet Conrad Murray?
I met Mr. Murray at Michael Jackson's house on forget the name of the street, excuse me.
On Carrollwood?
Carrollwood, thank you.
Okay.
I met Dr. Murray there. Michael introduced me to him one day when I came for a meeting at the house.
Okay. And do you know roughly when that meeting was?
I would say early in our creative process together, April or May.
Okay. And the creative process kind of started around mid-April?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe mid-April to the beginning of May?
Again, I would be guessing. Okay. It was during the creative, I went to Michael's house for a creative meeting, and the doctor was there, and he introduced us.
Okay. But I guess linking it up to maybe where you were at the stage of rehearsals, if it was were you at the Burbank Center Stages?
I would think we were still at Burbank, and I think I would call it the earlier stages.
Okay. So April or May of 2009?
Yes, sir.
And this was at Michael's house on Carrollwood?
Yes.
And was Conrad Murray introduced to you as Michael's personal doctor?
Yes. Michael introduced me as, this is my doctor, Dr. Murray. And we said hello.
And was that pretty much the extent of your meeting with him on that day?
Yes. It wasn't a meeting, it was just an introduction.
Okay. And would Conrad Murray come to the rehearsals from time to time, from what you saw?
On a very limited basis, but yes, he did come.
And would this have been at the 3 locations you've described, or are there certain locations you recall?
No, I never remembered him visiting us at Center Stages in Burbank.
Okay. Do you recall him visiting at the Forum?
The Forum, yes.
Do you recall any visits at the Staples Center?
I don't believe so, but I could be mistaken.
Okay. Now, at some point following you being introduced to Conrad Murray and meeting him, at some point in June 2009, Were there a period of days or week where Michael was not showing up to rehearsals?
Yes.
When in June did that take place?
I would say toward the latter part of June,
Okay.
before we went to the Staples.
Okay. So again, with Michael's death being on June 25th, 2009, using that as kind of a marker, was it about the prior week? Is that accurate?
Yes, it would have been days leading up, it was the week before.
Okay. So the last week at the Forum?
Yes. Again, approximately, sir.
Okay. And what was your knowledge about Michael missing these rehearsals? I assume you were at the location, at the Forum.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you just learn that he's not coming that day, or how would you become aware of it?
I was expecting him each day, and it became this continued absence.
Okay.
And I was only told that it was scheduling.
Okay. Did you have any reason to doubt that at that time?
No.
Now, I want to ask you about Friday, June 19th, 2009, which I believe would have been one of the last rehearsals at the Forum. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And on that day, Friday, June 19th, was it the Forum or was it the Staples Center, or do you recall?
I believe it was the Forum.
Okay.
I do. I believe it was the Forum.
Okay. And did you make observations of Michael on that day of June 19th, 2009 that caused you concern?
Yes.
And can you describe what you personally observed on that day, June 19th, 2009?
That my friend wasn't right, that he wasn't well. There was something going on that was deeply troubling me.
And of course, by my friend, you mean Michael?
Yes.
Michael Jackson?
Yes.
The fact that he wasn't right or he wasn't well and it troubled you, did you see physical manifestations of this that caused you concern?
He was chilled, and he appeared lost,
What do you mean by that?
just sort of lost and a little incoherent. And although we were conversing, and I did ask him questions, and he did answer me, I did feel, though, that he was, not well at all.
Did you think he was well enough to rehearse?
No,
Did he rehearse?
he did not.
What happened when you made these observations?
What happened when
Yeah, what did you do when you made, at the location when you're seeing Michael in this condition, what did you do?
I offered him food, which he accepted, and I brought him food. I put a blanket around him. I rubbed his feet, put a heater in the room next to him, and we just talked, and he said, "Can I sit with you tonight and watch rehearsal? I would really like that. Could Travis go on stage and perform, and could I sit with you and watch rehearsal?" And I said, "If you'd like, absolutely, Michael."
Okay, is that what he did?
Yes, for a while.
Okay. Did you sit with him?
Yes.
And how long did that go on, do you think, where he sat there with you and watched the rehearsal taking place?
I'm guessing under 2 hours, maybe an hour, hour and 15 minutes.
Was he still chilled? What was his condition?
He didn't seem chilled, but he just seemed, he wasn't there like, it was just, there was something wrong.
Had you ever seen him like that previously in that
No.
condition? I'm sorry?
Not like that, no.